Hey guys, welcome to the studio. It's late. I never make a video this late normally, but it's weekend time, so I figured what the heck. Any rate, I'm waking up the dogs here. They're all laying around, slumbering around. I got headphone hair, etc., etc. But any rate, I wanted to talk about this particular topic. And there's been the new version of Studio One version 3, and I don't actually use that particular audio workstation on my computer. Y'all probably know I'm a Cakewalk Sonar user. But there's been a lot of talk that they're coming out with these features that totally smoke Cakewalk, and I'm not coming to their defense of anything, but it made me think about a couple of things. Let me bring up some specifics. First, there's like the FX change that they say is just totally revolutionary, and I think, oh, well, I love effects. In fact, I love reverb so much. I like things so wet I could wash my clothes in it. So, of course, I had to check this out. And so, and I go and they've got a video on it, and you guys can check it out. And there's go to the Persona site, and they've got their videos. And I was looking at it, go, well, that's pretty neat. You know, they got it to where, minimum clicks, you can go ahead and get your effects split and put them in any order, and you can put them left or right or separate the effects if they're split by frequency and all that sort of thing. And that made it really convenient and everything. But I thought, that's really not a new feature. It's not something that I hadn't thought of before. And actually, in most decent software programs, you can go ahead and do that. You might have to clone a track or click around a couple extra times, but you can come up with the same thing. They've just made it easy for you to go ahead and do something like this. It's like the parallel processing, parallel compression, the New York compression, where a plugin gives you a wet-dry mix on the compression amount. And so it makes it easy to go ahead and do that rather than setting up parallel tracks and dealing with the phase issues and all that sort of thing. Another thing that they did was come out with the being able to stack your VSTI software synths and have one source, one MIDI track. And they thought it was pretty slick to where they had a video on this to where you could play the piano and then the strings are layered in as a second instrument, and you could go ahead and layer in a third synth, etc., etc. And I go, again, that's nothing really new. In fact, that really harkens back to the days when I was using all the old Rat gear, my Roland JV 1080s and 2080s. And that's what the MIDI through feature was all about. You plug your MIDI cable into one, and then they just go on to the next hardware unit. And that way, you could layer your sounds. The synths, the hardware synths back then, basically gave you one sound. As compared to some of the newer synths, you can go ahead and do 2 or 3 sounds at once. But that was the way to overcome that. Of course, all the guys like Keith Emerson and all the Rick Wakeman, they had all these multi-keyboards surrounding them. That's how they layered their sounds. But basically the concept now is you can just control all that with one keyboard. Again, not a revolutionary idea, but they've made it easy to do that. One thing I just want to talk about and caution, when you get to these easy routes, sometimes you pay a price for that. And for instance, let me give you a very specific. When you are setting up a multi-instrument off of one controlling track or off of one MIDI track, that may be nice, but I can do that, like I say, in my Sonar Platinum. But the way I have to do it is I go ahead and make a duplicate MIDI track and then open up another soft synth. So therefore I have 2 tracks, where in Studio One you just have the one track with the layered instruments. But the way that I would do it, by cloning that track, really gives me that extra control. Good night, Buster. I think I scared one of my puppies out from asleep. But at any rate, having that extra MIDI track really gives me more control, because I can control the note on off duration of my MIDI. It might be dependent upon the patch that I might use. I might not want a really long MIDI note duration for a certain patch, or quite frankly, I might get to a part to where if I really wanted to highlight the end of a phrase or a certain part of a phrase, I can get in there and adjust my MIDI notes and maybe play some harmony, so my layered synth is playing harmony but plays unison throughout it. Anyway, just some quick thoughts, and like I say, I think we're in the want it now, get it now type of mentality. Push one button, push one click, get it all in one thing. But I'm trying to, push you guys in a direction that don't take the easy route every time, even though it's nice, and actually don't think of those things as really these should be deciding factors that make something better over another, because there's always a way that you can accomplish something, even if you got to go around and come in the side or the back doors. It's when I see something revolutionary and a new idea that I find that it's interesting, and to me it doesn't make it a selling point for me. That said, I'm not dissing Studio One. It looks like a fantastic program. I personally really haven't dug into it too deep. I'm very happy with my program with Sonar Platinum, and so I don't really have the time to or the need to really get into another program. But that's that. I'm going to step off my soapbox, go to bed. Like I say, it's late. It's weekend time. You guys, you be good. Thanks for staying up with me, watching the video. I appreciate the comments. The subscriptions, they're really coming in good. I appreciate that a lot too. But you guys take care, and of course, we'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.